And that's an interesting phrase that Paul uses there in Romans chapter 13 and verse 14. Make no provision for the flesh to fulfill its lust. And I was trying to think about a good way to describe this. When I was a little boy, I loved to go down to the creek on our property. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was great just going through the woods to get there, being down at the creek. And there was this instruction. I was a small child. The instruction was, don't get in the creek. Because you're by yourself. We don't want you in the water when you're there by yourself, so don't get into the creek. And so I had my instructions, and I did not purposefully get into some of you are ahead of me. I didn't purposefully get into the creek, but this was a wide creek. Had some great waterfalls, granite rocks that you could just jump on one to the other to get all the way across the creek. And if you jump on granite rocks very long, you might slip and fall into the creek. I didn't go to get into but I sure did put myself in a position in which I could, and you could put this in air quotes if you want, accidentally fall into the creek. And I could kind of tell myself it wasn't really my fault. But that's what Paul is saying not to do with temptation to sin or with sin itself. He says, don't make provision for the flesh. Don't put yourself in a position in which it's going to be easier for you to fall into sin. We're not talking about falling into the creek anymore. We're talking about falling into sin. And Paul said, I want you to stay away from that. Don't get yourself into a circumstance where it's going to be easier for you to do wrong. Don't leave the door open to sin.